Hey everyone. If you're just now watching this video, I am truly sorry. Apparently, it's going to take 3 hours to upload this video. If anyone can give me some advice besides internet, I tried that. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a YouTube thing. So please give me some advice on that because that's a long time. But we're gonna jump into this thing. We ain't gonna let nothing stop us. I promise you we're not. So now, China won't control over votes for the UN. No, the UN is where all the nations' leaders in the world come together. Instead of going to war, they do it. They settle disputes through world politics. Okay. Now, the U.S. have pretty much say so over that. All right. China also want their currency to be the world standard, all right? Which is also the US. Oh, we finna go around. Now check this out. Now, what I'm about to tell you guys is pre-August 2018, okay? We're gonna start there. Let's go. So, Sri Lanka in 2010, Sri Lanka received a bunch of money to build a shipping port from China. And guess what? It had no shipping traffic. So guess what happened? Bye-bye. China got their shipping port, okay? With a 99-year lease in a 70% stake. That's mean. Now, they did the same thing to Djibouti, all right? Remember that. China financed the airport for India and Sri Lanka. No air traffic. They're stuck, all right? Pakistan, $40 billion to build a road, okay? For Pakistan. Pakistan owed $6 million on that loan, okay? So instead of what trying to do, they took the port, the deep sea port of Gwadir, okay? Now, they called the shots there for 40 years. Now check this out, you guys. Now, it was a Chinese power-based company that, you know, pretty much made that deal with Pakistan. The loan consists of 34% interest rate, all right, for every year for 30 years. Guaranteed. No. Montenegro from a little country in Europe. I know I messed that name up. Please forgive me. Now, $950 billion highway for a little country. And 70% of those workers were China's workers. And China has jurisdiction over the highway, okay? And they call it highway going to nowhere because at the time, they still owe another, it was unfinished and they owed another $1.2 billion to finish that, all right? Now, the Maldives in the Indian Ocean, okay? 225 million grant and loan from China that, they pretty much broke. And in the next 60 years, they're talking about the Maldives is going to be underwater, So China could do something with that until then. Durala is a container terminal that Djibouti seized from a Dubai-based company. Okay, now in February 2018, China they was gonna make a deal for China to have it. Now with that port is the main access between U.S. Make sure I got this right. France and Italy. Oh, now let's roll. All right, we finna now. All this is pre 2018, August 2018. All right. But I just want to give you guys some examples before we start rolling on this thing. Let's go. Let me make sure. Hold on one second. Okay, you guys. So listen, China. Pretty much about Hong Kong. They excuse me, about Hong Kong. They own The Hong Kong owned the port of Cali. Okay. Now, at the time, Hong Kong was still part of Britain. There was a British colony. Okay, because the Britain, they pretty much fought with China and had what a 99-year pretty much lease for Hong Kong. They gave Hong Kong back in 2000, excuse me, in 1999, and they were not supposed to touch Hong Kong until 2045. You all right? That was the deal when they received Hong Kong back. Now Hong Kong is supposed to be independent. China does not supposed to interfere with Hong Kong. Okay. Oh, watch this, you guys. Now, remember I told you that. So, now in 2017, China bought the port, the third largest port, and had 75% stake, pretty much in North America. All right, that port is in North America. Now, they said no. U.S. said no because it was a security risk. And in 2019, Australia's Marquee Group bought pretty much bought it for $1.8 billion. All right. China's trying to buy up all the ports. Okay. So remember that, and we're gonna come back and finish up on that. All right. So now, I told you about the debt that China's starting to collect from individuals in the past, about the history of Hong Kong, how they just, they got them back in 2019, and they supposed to be independent till 2045. That is the deal. Apparently, China don't know nothing about deals, okay? Now, Tibet is critical for China because China is in pursuit for renewable hydropower. They have built over 87,000 dams, okay? The gigawattage for those dams is 352, okay, of electricity, collectively. That's more than, Brazil, Canada, and U.S. combined. They pretty much have damped off all their internal rivers to major international rivers flowing in from Tibet. That's half of the world's, population they depend on, okay? Now, if China pretty much tap into the water supply, it will affect the water flow of the Tibetan Plateau, which is a rich water supply shared across Asia. And its sources for 12 transboundary rivers, all right? 1% of Tibet's hydropower is only been exploited, okay? Now, by 2030, Asia will start having problems with water, okay? Really bad. Now, per the UN in 2025, there'll be a water short of 1.8 billion people will be affected by the water, overall. Asia be pretty much one of the worst. Now, so if China get control over that, they can use that for political control because they control the water supply. Now, pretty much, India did it to Bangladesh. All right, they built it down for renewable hydropower, and it dried up the crops, and thousands of people had to, leave the country and move into India. All right, China. Make sure I'm going back over this right. Yes. So not only that, you guys, China is becoming a tech innovator. All right. Now, in the tech world, China has produced hypersonic missiles, human and editing trials, and quantum satellites. Okay, but their main thing they're working on now, you guys, is AI. All right, we all know what AI is, artificial intelligence. Okay, it's going to have applications for the military and civilian life. They want to kind of get out of that middle playing field where they've been at, and they want to become an innovation and consumption company. Okay, now in order for China to do this, okay, it's 3 steps China needs to do this, and we're gonna go over those steps in a minute. Now, China needs its own Silicon Valley, which is San Francisco, okay, just like San Francisco. But in order for China to do that, they need all 11 cities to merge together and form pretty much a mega city. What I mean by those 11 cities is the 2 colonies, 2 European colonies, former European colonies, and that is Hong Kong and Macau. All right. So that would be Hong Kong, Silicon Valley. All right. And they need those 2 cities to merge and make it, and urbanize it, pretty much make it an urban a city and a mega city, but they have to join together, okay? But think like this: don't China's supposed to leave them alone to 2045? Now, but like I say, there's 3 steps for them to do this. Once they merge or whatever, you can do it before and after. They did chose to do it before. So, step 1: build a bridge from Hong Kong to Macau. They did it already. Yes, 2018. It opened in 2018. Okay, express railroad, a rail link, the connect between Hong Kong and Shenzhen. Opened up in 2018. Complete. Okay. Build a corridor from Shenzhen, and which is a 8-lane highway that's supposed to open up in 2024. Okay. Now, check this out. So like I say, in 2007, this is when they got Hong Kong. Now, China wants to get poor developing countries. And what they want to do is they want to give them money to build them up, supposedly, and start putting people into their governments and using their citizens as cheap labor, okay? That's colonialism. That's exactly what it is. Look up the definition of colonialism. That's illegal per UN. They're doing it in Africa right now. They're in Africa doing the exact same thing. And the thing about it is that China is the biggest trade partner with Africa. Now, 1997, China, pretty much, Africa went against the America, all right? And, 1971. I'm talking about 1971. China went against, Africa went against China and said, hey, I'm with the U.S. It is the Republic of China. That's what we're going with. That's what we're recognizing for the UN. Okay, 2007, Africa had to change their mind. They're no longer back the U.S. Why? Why is that? Because China started pumping money into Africa. All right, I'm talking about. Listen, y'all will look at how much China don't pump into Africa. It is ridiculous. Like seriously, ridiculous. And using them for low, cheap labor. But I think at one point when we're gonna touch on that later on. Let's keep going with China, okay? So China, okay, make sure I got this. One of the world's cheap workforce. But let me make sure I got this right. Okay, yes. So Australia. 75% of Australia's economy is from China. Yes, they buy all their natural resources and everything. So you pumping money into Africa. You got, Australia, and it's far more. So let's touch on Australia. Okay, Australia's land mass is it's about the same as U.S. Okay. and about the same terrain. Now with Australia, they have 6 cities in Australia. They have one on the West Coast, which they're doing the oil thing, which is that one, and they have four. Excuse me, yeah, four on the East Coast and one up north. Okay, now the middle of Australia, wide open, you guys. It is wide open. You mean to tell me that it's a country out here that's the same size of America's, and they're saying that middle of Australia is almost inhabitable to humans? Man, if you can build Dubai can build a desert, a city up in the desert, man. Come on, so can Australia, and that's what a lot of people don't want to tell you guys. Australia is wide open. I'm gonna tell you something. Australia's oil deposits has barely even been tapped into. Australia is the world's largest export for natural resources in the world. Yes, I'm rich with minerals. You think Africa? Australia got it too. So now you're talking about this, okay? Now you're talking about 30% of the international students that go to school in Australia is Chinese. Chinese they're taking control over politics in Australia because listen, if China's income, 75% of Australia's economy, they pull out, Australia's done. In the past 20 years, Australia's economy has been going up, the only one. You know, and China pull out, Australia's done. They can take over because they are dependent on China. So either you in debt to China or you dependent on China. That's pretty much how they want it, okay? So we finna tell you what's really going on. All right. Let's roll. Now, we did that. 1% of the U.S. budget. We're gonna talk about it later on. So let's bounce over here. Now, you guys, as far as these ports, is bad. Make sure I got this right. Hold on one second. It's right here in my doggone face, you guys. Pretty much is this, you guys. China had to get a port back that they received, pretty much that Australia bought. Okay, so I told you that earlier because I touched on Australia just now. China forced Australia to buy that port from doggone in 2019 for $1.8 billion, and then China gonna buy it. Oh, because y'all in together, right? China is pretty much 75%. You rely on China, whatever, man. So now China is Chinese companies are in control, pretty much of a lot of the ports in the world. They have, matter of fact, the Chinese have a port in every single major country. Every single country in the world. And if they don't own it, pretty much they own 49% stake in it. Wow, they're trying to monopolize, guess what? The world trade routes. What they call it, the Silk Road or something like that. So like I say, the Munting Silk Road. Okay, that's what China's doing, right? So, and also they own 10%. Was that? It's a green they 10% of Greenland's GDP. China. Oh, they're not playing. They're everywhere. Okay. Now, when you look at the all the ports, Canada is about to become one of the biggest things coming up as far as their shipping. Okay. China's looking into that too. Yes, they already been sending ships, up through that way. So Canada, y'all watch out for Canada. All right, Canada is moving. Canada's doing big things. They're really about to boom. Okay, so everybody focuses on the same people over and over, and that's what President Trump was talking about, you guys. Now, 1% of the U.S. budget, okay, is through a foreign aid. Now, all these examples that I gave you guys, guess what it was? Foreign aid. Yes. So China was using foreign aid to gain a favor and to gain votes for the UN. All right. Also, like I say, President Trump wanted to cut the U.S. Budget for the foreign aid by 28%. But our budget for foreign aid is $51 billion. Why are we building up these countries while we're not even looking at our own? Thank you, President Trump. You said it. That's exactly what you're doing. That's exactly what's happening. And I don't understand it. That's a lot of money that can be pumped into the U.S. That's a lot of money that's our money. I'm not getting it. So pretty much, cut Japan. When we did off after World War II, okay, that's what we did for Japan and Germany, okay, after World War II, foreign aid, all right. And it's a good thing that President Trump want to cut that out because it is pointless. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys something, okay? I'm gonna go to this book. Oh yeah, this it's about to get real good. So pretty much, China, they even went to the I think it's 2018 when Obama stood up there and went and pushed China back from the agency. They wanted to pretty much take over the South China Sea. They said, "No, this is our sea." Now, the EEZ is you only have pretty much territory over 200 miles off the coastline. Okay, that's it. And China, they're forcing their will to push their like this is ours. And Obama didn't push back. Yeah, he really didn't. China also has. So what they did was, okay, in the South China Sea, okay, they built little islands in that sea and said these are my territories. Yes, they did that. Now I'm gonna tell you something. Y'all remember the water supply we were just talking about? So China built a 470-mile rail system in Ethiopia. Let me tell you what Ethiopia did. And you see how this tie into each other, okay? So, let me show up. So pretty much, okay. Ethiopia, fresh water supply, 12 rivers, running through the territory, okay? And it's just like China. The largest merge into the Mediterranean Sea, all right, in the Indian Ocean. The smaller rivers, they run into lakes and rivers in the lowlands, okay? These basins can affect Kenya, Jacoby, Somalia, Sudan, even as far as Egypt, okay? Now, the water generate in Ethiopia's highlands, okay, and it feed down to the lowlands. Each downstream, downstream nation rely on those fresh water supplies, okay? But guess what? They got the dam. Ethiopia built the dam, just like China. Control the water supply. Listen, the Mediterranean Sea, all right. I don't know if they're in trouble. They depend on a lot of wildlife down there. And it's going to be, listen, it's going to be trouble. People not, what are we doing? Power and control. Oh, excuse me, power and control. And like I say, that's pretty much what it's about. Now, pretty much what I told you guys about the AI. And so right now, yes, China got the ports, okay? They have a lot of allies, and they, bribed a lot of people. And matter of fact, you guys, don't quote me on the name of this little small country, all right? They bribed this country and gave the mayor gave $1 million. Nobody know where he's at now. But he did, what China did was the mayor signed a 99-year lease, and China had control over the ports. 75-year lease, excuse me. 75-year lease, and China had control over. They vetoed that because the people didn't sign off on it. And that port was major because it was key to China and Australia and all that. And it was a really important port. So let me make sure I got this right, guys. Let me get to my spot for China. Oh, y'all, we at the good part now. So, China banks are being more and more aggressive, okay? Overseas, lending to companies, which we've seen that. China's become more global. Last year, they do. Let me make sure. Okay. The government bond industries sources and Ashmore Group Bloomberg. All right, they are pretty much markets emerges markets industries of China. If I said that right, okay. All right. China government bonds remain stable. Okay. I had that crossed up. I'm so sorry, guys. But anyway, China government bonds remain stable. Now, when you look at SWIFT, okay, the U.S. have huge influence over SWIFT. SWIFT is pretty much society worldwide inter financial telecommunications. Okay, it is the largest network for transferring money. China won't control over that. So what China wants to do is they pretty much said, hey, I have another way that we can do this, okay? So instead of doing it the U.S. way, they have a network. It's a messaging system that allows financial institutions to communicate. That's what Swift. That's what Swift does. What China wants is they want control over how money is moved around. So when you talking about going all out, that's what they've been doing. This is what the coronavirus is about, guys. Yes, this is totally what. Now, before I was talking about foreign aid, China was gaining votes for the UN. Now we're talking about they want to control the financial institutions. They want to control it all. Okay, here it is. Now, majority of Swift's transactions are in dollars and routed through now New York. America has the system to pretty much choke out its adversaries. Russia feared being excluded in its invasion, and some Iran banks they was blocked from using it. So the system in 2018, they let me see the system in 2018 to enforce U.S. sanctions. Okay, on man, don't get me lying to y'all. Beijing. Yes, thank you. You got it. Like y'all can hear me. So the U.S. The U.S. can pretty much, China want to rebel. Okay, they're challenging the U.S.'s power, if that makes sense. So like I say, rewind so I can make sure I got this right for you guys. SWIFT, It's a telecommunications, company that they pretty much send money, how money is transferred. All right. China wants to gain control over, all of that. They don't want U.S. to have control no more. So in order for them to do that, they need America to pull back. All right. So pretty much Visa, MasterCard, that's pretty much America's kings of the digital world, all right, as far as transferring money. Now, China, they built a thing called digital wallets, all right? Ooh, yes, they did. Uh, they developed the app to disrupt, what's really going on, okay? Now, 45 trillion, no banks last year, okay? And I'm gonna get the names for you guys. Let me see. Where is the name on that? I had a name for the companies on there, guys. Transcended and Ant Financial. Okay. Uh, excuse me, 10 Cent. Yes, the 10 Cent and Ant Financial. Okay. There are Chinese companies with over a billion users each. Yes. So last year, $49 trillion China, did through digital wallets through these two Chinese companies. And both of them have a billion users each. All right. Coronavirus. So, in one company, matter of fact, once make sure Apple.com is accepted into. I'm gonna get that name for you guys because one of these countries, smaller countries, they're using China money as a instead of U.S. Instead of doing it the U.S. way, they pretty much adopting to what China wants. So we talk about. Make sure I got everything, guys. I want to say guys all the time, ladies and gentlemen. Just a thing. I am aware of it, but when I get to rambling, first thing come out my mind. But anyway, so pretty much, I'm gonna say this: if money isn't worth anything, it's really not. What is our money backed by? Our money is only worth anything because we believe it's worth anything. The supply and demand. But like I say, China wants to go digitally. Yes, I don't know if you guys know this or not. It's China who's pushing the digital currency. Now you see change starting to get missing. We shortness of change. Now, President Trump told you guys, hey, listen, don't worry about the coronavirus. And he also told you guys about foreign aid. Every time this man says something, everybody go against it. It's right here. Foreign aid. I showed you foreign aid. I showed you what China's doing with foreign aid. I showed you how much money we spend in foreign aid. $50 billion. Yes, it's 1% of the U.S. budget, but $50 billion. But we in debt, right? But we giving out $50 billion a year to foreign aid to build other countries up and not our own. We have people homeless over here. Thank you, President Trump. You get what I'm saying? Yes, you still need to do some politics here and there, but I want to come into a different world, but that is for another day. When it comes down to this coronavirus, China needed everything to shut down, you all. Yes. And to build these two tech companies for money. Yes, 10 Cent and Ant. What do I say again? Ant Financial. These two companies made money. Once again, you see how much money it is. 49 trillion because people was at home. They're locked down, you guys. And, over a billion users each. Now they sourcing out their technology. I'm telling you, if we don't stop right now and come together, it's over with. So they've been using these other countries, and guess what? It's not even over with because they're going to take Africa. They're going to take Australia. It's coming. Why U.S.? Australia has 25 million people in Australia. Okay, I think America has 30 million, 300 million. Who do you think they'd rather go into, Australia or Africa? I mean, or America? Australia's the one that got all natural resources. They got some stuff. So seriously, coronavirus, leave it alone, you guys. And as far as this sending this money overseas, stop it. So that's my proof to you guys that President Trump is right. Please share this video. I'm sorry it took so long. I didn't mean for it to take 40 minutes, but I had to get out at one time. And like I say, and this is not even everything. This is just the start to get you guys to see that when it came down to how China was pretty much taking properties, controlling the ports. Yes, controlling the ports, the world trade. Man, talking about the for the financial side of it, gaining votes within the world, the UN, water supply. What? Listen, pay attention. Love you guys. Please share this video. Let me know what you think. And see you guys soon. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I see you all soon. Yeah, change that.